East Coast Pete. Welcome to my show. I'm going to have a look at Siouxsie, Sioux and the Banshees. Susan Janet Ballion. She was born in 1957. She's an English singer-songwriter and lead singer of the rock band Siouxsie and the Banshees. For 20 years, from 76 to 96, her one U.S. hit was Kiss Them For Me, but she had other top 20 singles in the UK. She also formed a side project band called The Creatures. There were 4 studio LPs, one hit song, Right Now. After The Creatures disbanded, she continued her music as a solo artist. Siouxsie is the youngest of 3 children. When her older siblings were born, her family lived in the Belgian Congo. Siouxsie was born in Chislehurst, Kent, a suburb of London. She grew up learning to dislike the propriety of her world. Her father died when she was 14. Her health was affected by the loss, and she was hospitalized with ulcerative colitis. While rehabilitating, she saw David Bowie on the telly, on Top of the Pops. At 17, she left school. She would frequent local gay discos with her big sister. She introduced her own friends to the scene, and in 75 her friends saw the Sex Pistols at the Chislehurst Art College. Siouxsie didn't go to that one, but her friends told her all about Johnny Rotten in all of his threatening glory. Siouxsie and one of her pals went downtown to see the Sex Pistols play. She became a regular follower, and Siouxsie's eccentricity was appreciated as she sported a glam, fetish, and bondage look with thick, dark eye makeup, bright red lipstick, spiky hair, and all black clothing. It wasn't long before she decided to form a band, even though she had no musical ability. She and her friends dressed up and improvised at Malcolm McLaren's 100 Club Punk Fest. Siouxsie sang the Lord's Prayer backed by noise music, and this made an impression on John Savage, a music critic, and he saw Siouxsie as a vanguard of women in the new punk scene. Viv Albertine, later of the Slits, says Siouxsie was the first. One of Siouxsie's first public appearances was with the Sex Pistols on Bill Grundy's TV show. Standing next to the band, Siouxsie made fun of Grundy, saying, "I've always wanted to meet you, Bill." And Grundy suggested a meeting after the show, and that provoked a reaction from Steve Jones, who responded with a long series of expletives never before heard on early evening TV. There was a media furor on the tabloids with the headline, "Siouxsie is a punk rocker." The Sex Pistols benefited from the publicity, becoming an overnight sensation. Siouxsie didn't like the attention. She withdrew, and she focused her energy on her own band, which she named Siouxsie and the Banshees. A banshee is a female spirit in Irish myth who heralds the death of a family member by wailing, shrieking, and keening. Perfect. The band began touring in 1977, and Hong Kong Garden was their first single, and it went to number 7 in the UK. There was a there was a xylophone. Sid Vicious was the temporary drummer just for a moment. And Peter Fenton was on guitar from 76 to 77. Marco Peroni, he was on guitar for an unspecified time. Kenny Morris was recruited on drums, and Pete Fenton got kicked out for being too good a guitarist. Yeah. John McKay took his spot. They all demanded complete control over recording, and Polydor complied. Such was the band's initial popularity. Right place, right time, Siouxsie. Their first album, The Scream, in 78, was already considered post-punk. It was compared favorably with Patti Smith's Horses. Join Hands was the follow-up in 79 with an anti-war theme. The musicians called Dark, Angular, and Jagged, but I think Patti was far better. Then in 1980, Kaleidoscope with new guitarist John McGeoch and drummer Budgie was considered a new direction with electronics and power pop. Budgie and Siouxsie formed The Creatures, which was a stripped-down vocals and percussion project. In 1982, A Kiss in the Dream House was well received, but it was orchestrated and McGeoch left. Feast was the first Creatures album. It was recorded in Hawaii. There were waves, local percussion, and a choir. It was reorchestrated with horns. The music was considered exotica. Meanwhile, the Banshees acquired guitarist Robert Smith of The Cure, and Siouxsie covered the Beatles' Dear Prudence, and it went to number 3 in the UK. The two albums with Smith were Nocturnes and Hyena. It was in 85. The single Cities in Dust was played on alt-rock stations in the US. And then in 88, Siouxsie anticipated hip-hop with her single Peekaboo. With her use of samplers, the Peep Show album was yet another new direction for Siouxsie. Second Creatures album was Boomerang, using South Asian instrumentation such as a tabla. The Rapture was the last Banshee album. That was in 1995. Here's the songs. One, Pure. This is from the Scream album. Number 1, Pure. It's kind of like disembodied echoes. 2, Jigsaw Feeling. It's a little Lena Lovitch sounding. Certainly more sophisticated than the Sex Pistols at that time, or at any time. It's freeform bashing and guitar randomness, and drums are pretty 2 and 4. 3, Overground. She doesn't shriek. That's good. This in a 5/4 time. That's impressive. 4, carcass. This is a little better. It's not really good yet. 5, helter-skelter. No, this is awful. 6, mirage. Not bad. 7, metal postcard. Very not bad. Kind of hiccupy. Like Buddy Holly a little. 8, nicotine stain. Hiccupy again. Too much smoking. 9, suburban relapse. Here's kaleidoscope. 1, happy house. And it's tighter. And the drums are very cool. 2, tenant. It's minimalist. 3, trophy. It's ginchy. 4, hybrid. Atonal. 5, clock face. Whoa, whoa, oh. 6, lunar camel. This is the best cut. Don't ask me why. And 7, Christine. This is the hit. The Strawberry Girl. So there you have it. That's Siouxsie Sioux and the Banshees. Not bad. I expected more, I think. But you know, I give her credit. She played up a whole different kind of feminine appeal, a fashion statement, kind of like an anti-sex object thing. And you know, that's sort of what we're doing nowadays, right? So she did it first. Oh well. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you soon.